Okay, so wanted to do a video looking at the results from, well, not all of the results, but my first results from the ACI testing. Full disclosure, I've already run through this data set once. It turned out really well. I'll show you the residuals or the deviations here shortly. But I wanted to start over from scratch again just to kind of show you what went into it. So what you're looking at right now is fresh after import. It took 15 minutes and 50 seconds to import these 7 setups with pictures, looking for spherical targets and black and white targets. Let's see, with images at 5K. So we could have saved a little bit of time by dropping that down to 2K. Now I did take it up to 5K for this experiment because as you'll see here in a second, we're going to go in and we're going to have to put some virtual targets in. So it behooves us to have high quality images. One of the things that is somewhat unrealistic about this, it's not unrealistic, but as we all know, survey control is important. But an experienced laser scanner knows exactly how far to spread it out. We have a lot of black and white targets in this area for these 7 targets. We have, now granted we're only using 8 of them for the actual control, but the rest of them are actually, as you can see, they're all green, are being used in the cloud-to-cloud algorithm. The bundle error is not as good as I would like to see on this one, but if I switch over to my advanced view, my global error is nothing, my loop error is nothing. I have a couple of targets that are a little bit off, and we'll look at those as we go through. One of the first things I do whenever I open up a data set is I verify. I never want to trust this, any machine to do my work for me. So I'm gonna take my bundle, and I'm gonna go into my true view. I'm gonna drop my thickness down, real low here. I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on this wall just for a second because this wall is in a lot of different scans. As you can see, it's like a full rainbow in there, right? Drop that thickness down just a little bit more. This wall did have a light brush on it, so this thickness of this line doesn't really scare me at all. But as I go up, I'm not really seeing any deviation until I get to the top. That's good. We're going to check a few more places here. So that's the ground. We're going to come all the way up. I'm not seeing any deviation on these columns or walls. Okay, perfect. So we know the registration is actually pretty good, which is to be expected with this many targets in this short of a small of an area. So let's go back to our sitemap. Now we're going to go in and we're going to start working with this data set a little bit. I'm going to come into this sitemap here, or into this set, and I'm just going to do a quick visual check on the targets, and I'll go actually back and single out the one that had the bad target. I'm assuming that it just picked a bad spot on one of the targets, but everything actually looks visually pretty good. I did notice that they didn't have one for 100 down here, so I'm going to I'm going to hit my control icon up here, or edit targets, and then select new black and white target down here. And I'm going to pick as close to that center as I can get, and it's going to run a quick algorithm to put it right there at the black and white. Let's take a look at our thumbnails. It looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and increase the size a little bit. Yeah, that's right on. Nice. And while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead. These are the two spheres. I'm going to go ahead and just verify the rest of these. Good deal. All right, so I'll switch back to my table. Now, some of these will auto-name when I bring in the control, but the control isn't on all of them. So we got target 104. We're going to make that 100. Perfect. And then this one is target 38. Now I'm going to get a warning here in a second. I'm going to make this 202. And as soon as I click off of it, I get this target relabel. And all this means is that we have more than one target at this location, and it wants to rename all of them. And I absolutely want to name all of them. Perfect. We're going to scroll up. So these ones, the paddle targets, are the ones we used, our Rothberger systems. They worked out phenomenally. They're the ones that we use for the controls, so they're going to be auto-named. I don't have to worry about naming these. But these are the ones we used for the testing. So this target here, 37, is going to be 203. And I'm going to get one of those change all warnings again. Perfect. And then, so we have one more thing we need to do from this position. Since this is the position that's closest to the side of the snap files, we set 300 right there. So we're going to go zoom in and new virtual target right at the center of that crosshair. Perfect. That's going to be 106. So I'm going to hit done. 106 is going to be 300. New virtual target again. We're going to click as close to the center as we think we can. Alright, so I could, in theory, grab this next row, but I actually have this location right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just move over to this setup. Before we get into all the craziness, we're going to do our visual check of the targets from this location. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Look at that. So this is a good, we're going to go ahead and hit our edit targets again. And we're going to say refit target. And we're going to refit this one. We're going to pick where we want it to go. Look at that. Alright, and that should be labeled 205. Yep, nice. So if I hit done, perfect. Let's go ahead, no, we'll just continue on. We'll check how it changes that made after we get done. I want to grab this one on the floor here right now, so we're going to go ahead and new black and white target. And we're going to pick the center there. That looks good. We're just going to go ahead and switch over to thumbnail just to double check. Looks good. Alright, we're going to switch back to our table. So that should be 112. That's going to make it 102. Nice. So now that's done. Now let's go ahead and grab this bottom one here. New virtual target. Perfect. We're going to hit done. Which one is this? 308. So I'll mark that 308. What I want to do now is I want to actually go back up to my sitemap. And I want to see what my bundle... See, my targets went way down because I fixed that one. Let's see if we have another... So we have another high one right here, and another high one right here, and that's going to be link 11. Link 11 is going to be... Oh, and that could be why. I mean, that link is pretty long distance there. But let's, oh yeah, look at target 22, target 103. So that's going to be between these two. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go setup cloud. I want to come to this setup anyways. So let's take a look. We'll do it the quick way, thumbnails. I don't know what that one's supposed to be. This one picked up a lot of random things it thinks are targets. Let's see. We should probably get rid of some of these. Picked up the black and white right there. So let's go edit targets, delete target. Alright, hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and grab 101 from here. New black and white target. Looks good. Looks good there. So I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to name that 101. Perfect. And done. So I'm not seeing, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to, what was the other? Scan 7. And I could add these two here, but realistically they're at a pretty good angle, and I don't need them. So everything else looks pretty good. So I'm going to go back to my site map here. I mean, what is our overall? 15. Optimize bundle. Let's see, our global error is just nothing. So link 1. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's giving me a cloud-to-cloud error there, but all right, so here's another good test. We're going to take this whole bundle and we're going to lock. All right, so you always want to lock your bundle before you apply control. It doesn't always happen, but I've seen it, like a bad control. You get bad numbers from your guys in the field. I've seen it just tear a point cloud apart, and you have to start over from scratch. And then we're going to go ahead and go back to our import and import as control. So now we imported our control. We have it here on our control network page. Now we go back, drop our bundle down, right click, hit apply control, make sure it's locked before we do. Matching target found. Proceed with labeling to match control. Yes. All right, let's look at our applied control. For thou, right? That is a good mean error. I'm not going to play with anything. That looks really good. So what we would do from here is we would bundle. Actually, we would right click on any of our control and hit export all targets. Now what we're going to come up with is we're going to have a bunch of, hit save. I already have a few of these bundles here. So what you'll have is you'll have quite a few of these 203s and 202s. So what I did before was I went averaged